The Genshin Impact 7.0 Archon Quest just dropped a massive lore bomb about who Paimon really is. After a 6-year-long wait, we finally know who Paimon truly is. But she's not what Pierro and Ronova revealed in the Archon Quest. However, their words did help us confirm that her true identity is a lot different than what they think. So let's go deep into this video. And if you're a fan of Genshin Impact like me, and you enjoy knowing the Genshin lore and theories, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. This motivates me to create more amazing content like this. So, at the starting of our journey in the game, when we first meet Paimon, we save her from the sea. We literally fish her out from the sea with a fishing rod like a fish. And we all know how Paimon has been with us on our journey in Teyvat over these 6 years. But the interesting part is whenever someone interacts with Paimon in the game, no one really asks her where she is actually from or what she actually is. And even if anyone asks Paimon anything about her, she never really gives them a proper answer, which tells us that she doesn't know anything about her past. So if we want to understand who Paimon really is, we need to decode her. Let's start decoding Paimon with her name. The name Paimon is actually taken from the book, The Lesser Key of Solomon. You must have heard the name of this book somewhere. Yes, from this book, many of the Archon's names have been taken, such as Morax, who is Zhongli, Barbados, who is Venti, Beelzebul, who is Raiden A, and Buer, who is Nahida. All of these names are taken from this exact book, and from this same book, Paimon's name is also taken. These are actually demon names given to the Archons, and to Paimon as well. So this gives us a massive hint, a clear picture, that Paimon is not just an ordinary creature, she is a god. Even her design, if you've ever noticed, looks godly. She wears a crown on her head. Her legs look exactly like the heavenly principles, celestial nails. And there are lots of things in her design which match the 4 shades of Genshin Impact. All of this tells us that Paimon actually is some kind of god. A god who has lost her powers and her memories as well. Now, let's come to the Snezhnaya Archon Quest. We all know how we entered Snezhnaya, and the moment we entered, Paimon started to get more and more sick. Her condition just kept getting worse. And in Act 2 of the 7.0 Archon Quest, we finally got the answers as to why Paimon was sick and what made her condition this bad. It all happened because of the anti-celestial energy. Because as Ronova and Pierro said, Paimon is a creation of Celestia. So that's why that anti-celestial energy, which was made by the Fatui to make the heavenly principles weak in Snezhnaya, was also making Paimon weak, cause she comes from Celestia too. And then Pierro also explains to us how Paimon actually came into Teyvat. So basically, Pierro was pulling on the celestial banner, and he completely lost his 50-50 to Paimon.
I remember those eyes. It was just before I placed the curse.
Ouch!
Okay, jokes aside, back in Khaenri'ah, there was a technology where, with the help of gravity, they could pull anything from the sky down to Teyvat. And that exact same technology was used in Nordkrai by the Fatui to pull down the moon fragments from the sky. So by using this anti-gravity technology, Pierro pulled Paimon down from Celestia. And when Paimon came to this world, she was behaving just like a newborn baby. Later, Pierro offered Paimon as a gift to the Vinster King, but the Vinster King took no interest in her. After that, Pierro took care of Paimon himself. She used to stay in his palace. But we all know what happened next. The Cataclysm. After that disaster, Paimon and Pierro got separated. And then, 500 years after the Cataclysm, we meet Paimon at the very beginning of our journey. But unfortunately, Paimon doesn't remember anything about her past with Pierro. So now we understand Paimon's past. We know how she came to Teyvat, her relationship with Pierro, and that she is a creation of Celestia. So now the ultimate question is, what is Paimon truly? What is her real identity? And why did Ronova want to take Paimon with her? Is Paimon actually the fifth shade of Genshin Impact? If you go into your game, into the character artifact section, you will notice something. A character uses 5 artifacts. The flower, which represents life. The ruler of life, Naberius. The feather, which represents death. The ruler of death, Ronova. The sands, which represents time. The ruler of time, Istaroth. And the goblet, which represents space. The ruler of space, Asmodee. But then there's one last piece of artifact, the circlet. The circlet represents reason, and a similar circlet, or we can say a crown, is on Paimon as well. So is Paimon actually a fifth shade, the ruler of reason? Before we dive deeper into this, please watch these 2 cutscenes properly.
This world has always been so. Life abides no reason, for none are born by their own consent. Death abides no reason, for it cannot be defied, even by those who see it coming. Time abides no reason, for it deprives us all equally, yet brooks not a second to be reclaimed. Space abides no reason.
Time for one final experiment. Reason, life, death, time, and space. They all believed I would fail.
There's an absolutely fascinating theory by the creator, CatWithBlueHat, where she explained why Paimon could be a fifth shade, the ruler of reason. And that theory makes so much sense. She explained how the heavenly principles actually created 5 shades instead of 4, but kept the fifth shade a total secret. Or you could say they forced the world to forget that the fifth shade ever existed. Because, as you saw in the Teyvat chapter interlude teaser, that old woman repeatedly connected life, space, death, and time directly to reason. This tells us just how incredibly important the reason is. Teyvat existed for a reason. Everyone exists for a reason, and everything happens for a reason. Reason is such a critical concept, and that's exactly why the heavenly principles made the world forget the ruler of reason ever existed. This is how they protect the most important thing in Teyvat, by making everyone believe that reason never existed in the first place. So even if the world ever targets the heavenly principles, the ruler of reason will always remain perfectly safe, hidden in plain sight as Paimon. I highly recommend you all watch the CatWithBlueHat theory video to understand this more precisely. I'll paste the link right down in the description. So, to quickly summarize, Paimon is a forgotten god, pulled from Celestia using Khaenri'ahn anti-gravity technology. She was raised by Pierro, separated during the cataclysm, and lost her memories. And all the clues in the game point to her being the hidden fifth shade, the ruler of reason. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, share this with a friend, and subscribe for more Genshin lore and theories. See you in the next one.